So, like, some editor came to work and was like, I'm about to cook all the Blindside puns. Blindsided, blinded by. Rob the blindfolded. Like, I have never seen so many people get their work in like they get their work in right now. All right, hold on, wait. Okay, that's the most egregious shit in that movie, man. That was so egregious. That scene where Sandra Bullock teaches Michael Orr the basic fundamentals of not blocking, of what it means to play on the offensive line. Egregious lie. That is the most egregious Hollywood lie of all time. And the crazy thing was, so many people watched that and was like, yeah, she ate. That's true. That's true. That probably happened. Like, what? What you think? Because I'm telling you right now, if you as big as Michael Orr has, Sandra Bullock ain't the first one to try to teach you to play the offensive line. Okay? Like, if you are just a little chubby in a neighborhood, somebody going to try to teach you how to block, dog. Like, he knew how to play football. I think he was already a really good high school player by the time he had met the Tuohys. Like, this is an egregious lie that they put in there for no reason. Like, the story's tragic enough. You know what I mean?
No, it was a reason. It was a reason.
I know the reason. We'll talk about it.
It's a reason. It's a reason. But you know what? People only believe because it's Sandra Bullock. That's the only reason. If it was anybody else saying, hey, shout out Julia Roberts for turning this down. Shout out to her. Shout out to her for being like, nah, I don't want to do that. But because it's Sandra Bullock, if it was anybody other than Sandra Bullock or Julia Roberts saying that, we'd have been like, I don't believe that.
Hold on, though. I would believe if it was Angela Bassett. You know what I mean? Like, Coach Bassett out there, like, teach. I would believe. Like,
that's a whole different movie. As a completely different movie. If Angela Bassett's out there.
Yeah, it's a different movie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want to just get the credit to Sandra Bullock. Angela Bassett would have had me out there believing she taught Creed how to box. You know what I mean? Like, they had Felicia Rashard in there, right? Like acting like she taught Creed how to box. I was like, all right, I buy it. Like, it's Felicia Rashard. She was a lawyer.
If it was Angela Bassett out there, that's a Tyler Perry movie.
Angela Bassett.
That's
she gonna be out there in the pads. You know what I mean? Like, she gonna be pass rushing Michael Orr. Like, talk about some get under. Hit her with the rip move real quick.
Ain't nobody getting no Academy Awards when it's Tyler Perry and Angela Bassett.
Only BET Awards. Only the NAACP Awards.
They wouldn't have been talking about this on ESPN.
It goes so bad when we try to do it. Like, you know, like, remember 50 Cent starved himself to play a football player with cancer, thinking he was about to get them Blindside rewards, and that went straight to BET, and went straight to BET.
Did he get his tattoos removed?
He did so much.
Did he get
so much? And 50 watched the Blindside and was like, yeah. If she can get watch what I'm about to do. I'm about to show America. And America went, take that shit to BET. That's what happened, man. It's so tragic.
I can't believe 50 did that, dog. I can't believe 50 did that.
Like, look at the pictures, man. He got so skinny for that movie.
You lost hella weight, bro.
And nobody cared. Like, even we didn't care. We talking about how much of a travesty it was. We was making the jokes on Facebook. This how long ago it was. Like, I remember seeing the pictures.
The meme of him in the bed when he was sick.
Out of Tennessee, or says that's a lie. That they tricked him into making the family his conservators instead, and that they made millions off his name. From
Hold on, pause it. Hold on. They hit my man with the Britney Spears?
With no mental illness.
They hit my man with the Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, dog.
At 17. Like, they did that to Britney when she was grown and had a couple, like, public meltdowns. They did this to this man at 17.
That's fucked up, bro.
It's incredibly messed up. And then it makes you think about things. right? Because this makes you think about things. Cole, I'm gonna ask you some questions about this case, and I wonder if you know it and if it changes your opinion on this whole thing more than it already has changed your opinion. Did you know that Hugh Freeze was Michael Orr's high school coach?
I did not know that.
Did you know Michael Orr played at Ole Miss? You know where Hugh Freeze got a head coaching job around the same time? Just guess.
Where'd he get a? It's not Ole Miss, is it? Is it Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Oh, got something else for you. So these Tuohys, guess what college they went to?
Ole Miss.
Yep. They had money. They were actually boosters for what program?
Ole Miss.
So, it kind of changes their story that they gave us, right? Where it's like, oh, we just saw this giant man and we just wanted to help him out and give him a better life. And it's like, or did you see Ole Miss's next starting tackle and decide to recruit him? Because again, Michael Orr was already a good tackle when they met. Michael Orr was already playing football when they met. And that brings me up to what it makes you think about in the movie. Because I think people have been tiptoed around this, but it cannot be tiptoed around. I know people are going to be upset the second I mentioned it. This is a story about a white family adopting a black athlete. Like, there are obvious things, racial dynamics that are like a little troublesome here. They profited off of this man's tragic story, gave him none of those profits, and used those profits to enrich themselves and their foundations to donate to whatever causes they wanted to, off of the back of Michael Orr, a black man who did not receive anything from this, up until the point that he got drafted, because again, he went to Ole Miss and didn't get paid there either. So kind of changes how you look at the blind side now, right? Like, and it makes it seem like this was less of a mission of pure good-heartedness and more of a mission of opportunity for the Tuohys.
Hey, let's just call it what it is. Let's just be honest. I want the both of them to be arrested. This is disgusting, dog. No funny. This is probably one of the more predatory things we've ever seen in sports. It was like he was 17. He's a minor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a kid. Mm-hmm. And they knew, like you said, they knew he was going to be the starting tackle. Hugh Freeze was his high school coach. It's going to become the coach on Ole Miss. Obviously, they knew that. They were boosters. This is predatory as hell. Like this, like if the NCAA needed to get involved in something, it's something like this.
And here's the kicker. I didn't even talk about how they portrayed Homeboy in the movie. Like, that's the part that Michael Orr got a real big problem with, because he's portrayed this man.
With this. He always had a problem with
this. They portrayed him as the dumbest man in the world, who needed to be taught how to play football, who needed to be taught. And again, this is where these racial dynamics go to play. Oh, you found this clueless, large black man with a potential, and then you taught him everything he knows. Sounds like something. Don't sound like charity. That's the one thing it don't sound like to me. So that whole thing, it smelled fishy for me from the start, because it was always weird that you were a booster for this program and then he just happened to go to Ole Miss. You know what I mean? And that you just happened to catch him. Because like, it'd be one thing if you adopted Michael Orr when he was like 10. You know, he's just friends with your kid. Okay, let me give him a home. He's 10. You don't know what he gonna be. But Michael Orr was already Michael Orr when they met him. So just makes you think a little bit. You know what I mean? And then the willingness to profit off of the situation too, right? They went to the book. They got the book deal done. Then they went to the movie, got the movie rights done, released like 4 or 5 books. The Tuohys released like 4 or 5 books about compassion and loving and care and all this about the Michael Orr situation. Like, I don't know. It seemed like y'all was too ready to sell this story in a very specific way, a very problematic specific way. That's what makes me go, some don't smell right here. and it hasn't smelled right for a very long time. So this pops up, and as somebody who's followed the situation a little bit closer than most, I'm like, this don't surprise me, because everything about this situation kind of stinks once you stop thinking about it as a movie and start thinking about these are real people. Like,
You know what? You know what the overarching lesson about this entire situation is? All white savior movies are bad.
mm-hmm.
All white savior movies stink, and there's usually something else going on.
I'm talking about you, Legend of Bagger Vance. Okay.
Listen. All white savior movies are terrible. Stop
Freedom
making
Riders. Look, the only white savior movie that's fire and we let rock is the one that Samuel L. Jackson was in. And that's Coach Carter. You know what I mean? Because he was the white savior. It was just Coach Carter. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only one we let rock. Like,
hey, it's okay. It's okay if we do it. It's okay if we do it.
It's the exact same thing, though. They had some crazy. Remember the Cedric the Entertainer movie about the black swimmers? Like,
No, dog. I did not remember that. That happened? That's the thing?
Pride. It had Terrence Howard in it. Pride. That's it. Yeah. With Terrence Howard in it and Bernie Mac.
Hey, Bernie Mac was in it?
Bernie Mac was in it.
Oh, I'm about to watch it. I'm about to watch it just off the straight.
First of all, off the behind the scenes was more interested than whatever happened on camera for that movie. Bernie Mac and Terrence Howard in 2007. Oh yeah. Yup. They had Tom Arnold, All-Star, by the way. We got to give him his credit. He a Hartsfield Jackson Airport All-Star. My brother has done his work. You know what I mean? He in like every Madea movie and all the other black movies. Like, he is in the BCU.
Like, hey, the BCU is crazy. The BCU is nuts.
If Static Shock ever get a movie, Tom Arnold got to be in there somewhere, dog. Like,
no. We got to trademark BCU.
It's gonna be Tay Diggs, Lorenz Tate.
Hey, Taraji P. Henson,
Tom Arnold, and Michael Rappaport. That's the Avengers. He the Hawkeye of the Black Avengers.
2.5% of the proceeds. Now, that film also, the legal documents indicate, has made more than $300 million. Now, it also says that the conservatorship was going to end when he was 25, but the legal documents say that it was never terminated by the court, and ultimately, employees had control over his contracts and any legal document.
Hold on. What is 2.5% of $300 million? This is $7.5 million.
Oh, no, see. You got to give me some of that.
And they already had money. They already had money. That's nuts. That's nuts.
That's something that would maybe want to hurt somebody. High key.
And then we don't know the details behind the scenes. Like, I wonder if he stopped hearing from him as much once his football career ended. Probably. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder what that relationship ended up being once he stopped playing football, because that was the only thing that really connected them, right? So there's probably some stuff like that too, like some personal betrayal there. It was like, I can understand how Michael Orr, being in the situation he's in, could feel like, this is actually my family. They actually care about me. Who expects an 18-year-old to be that cynical at this point? Like, to be able to figure out the whole rules going on around him. And then for it to get pulled from under him like this. And then for you to sit around for like the last 10 years, act like you're doing the good thing when you know you're doing this to him. Jail.
Under the jail. Prison.
And you know what? I don't even think jail would be the thing that deters them, because I know people who like this, and you got to remember, this is the South, and we talk about college football. The only thing that would truly punish these people is if you put Ole Miss under suspension. Like, that's the only thing. You know what I mean? Because they'll go to jail and be like, hey, if Ole Miss wins, though, I'm good. but let Ole Miss get a bowl ban. You know what I mean? That'll hit them harder.
Where the NCAA at, man? Like this is the exact kind of situation y'all need to step in and do something. Bring the hammer down. Hey,
the NCAA wouldn't step in because they would be like, you know what's ironic? If they would have did right by Michael Orr, now the NCAA would be trying to do something right. Be like, he got money for being Michael Orr while he was possibly in college. We got to steal that. See, it's unfortunate that every step of the way from Michael Orr, people have been trying to rob him. You know what I mean? Like, he has been taken advantage of at every step, unfortunately. Doesn't get a great situation to start off, right? His mom, unfortunately, had a drug habit that obviously affected her ability to take care of them. Had a lot of kids that he grew up around in the foster care system. We know how predatory that can be at times. And then gets brought in by the Tuohys, thinking they actually care about him. That's a predatory situation. I don't even got to tell you about the predatory situation the NCAA has over all of its student athletes, right? And then we get to the NFL, and the only people who do right by him is the damn NFL teams who just keep it a buck because it's straight up a business at that point. Hey, bruh, we want you to play football. We'll pay you this much. This is what the relationship is. Every other step of the way, he's been manipulated and been told this a family and all of that. And I can't imagine how tired he is of that because he got that at home, and then you play football and you play for free, and they tell you it's for family and you got to do this stuff. And it's like at some point you just get burnt out.
I just feel bad, man. Like it was one of those things when the story came out yesterday, you were just like, what? Like they was doing this the entire time this is going on. They was really just robbing this young black boy at that point. He was 18. This young black boy took advantage of him, knew he was talented, knew he was going to make a bunch of money, was extremely predatory, bringing him into their home and saying, oh, we're a family and you're part of our family now, just so they could rob him of his future earnings because they knew he was going to make a bunch of money. And that's just, more than anything, it's just a very, very ugly and just nasty thing for any human being to do to a young, and impressionable person.
It's not just that they robbed him of the story. They robbed the story from him, right? Exactly. Like that was the original crime to me, is how did this story about Michael Orr overcoming tremendous odds end up centering Sandra Bullock? How did that happen? How did Sandra Bullock end up the main character about the story of a young black dude who overcame incredible poverty, incredible circumstances to get where he was? But instead it's about Sandra Bullock finding this child and then fixing this child. It's not just that they robbed him of the proceeds from the story. They robbed his story, centered themselves as the heroes, made him a side character in his own struggle, and then profited off of his struggle, and they didn't even have the balls to put Tom Arnold in the movie. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, awful jail.
How did we get back to Tom?
I had to put a bow on it. We had comedy and very serious stuff in this video. I had to find a way to try to close it off.
I was like, okay, he could get. Why is Tom? What's Tom?
You know what I mean? It would have been all straighter. You would have put Tom Arnold in the movie.
You saying Tom wouldn't let him get robbed?
Tom would have been like, "Hey, young buck, let me talk to you for a second, man. I think they robbed you. Let me go introduce you to my homeboys real quick." Tom would have got him straight. He would have took one look at the Tuohys and been like, nah. Have you ever thought about coming to Jackson? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, if he was part of the BCU, this wouldn't have happened.
You know what I mean? Angela Bassett would have told him, "You need to check those papers, son." Like,
Tyler Perry's like, "Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This don't look right to me." You should probably ask a question.
Tyler Perry, like, let me rewrite this.
Hey, he wouldn't have made $7.5 million, but I bet you he wouldn't have got robbed.
Look. Tyler Perry might have robbed him. Like, let's be honest about it. Like, he would have made The Blind Side about a young black man named Michael You know what I mean? Like, and Medea finds him and coaches him to prominence. It would have been Diary of a Mad Black Woman 6, The Blind Side. Like, I don't know. I ain't gonna give Tyler Perry that much credit. But all I'm saying is that I wish at some point in this man's childhood, in his life, somebody looked at him and didn't see an easy target. That somebody would have looked at him and went straight with him and just helped him. But every step of the way, it's unfortunate. People chose to take advantage of him, chose to profit off of the name and the story of Michael Oher while making Michael Oher a footnote in that story, both financially and literally. So that's the true tragedy of it. I hope you can understand that while still laughing at the comedy in this video. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tom Arnold. Hope he watches this video. He's a personal hero of mine. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night.